Welcome back to Wake Up America. I'm Tom Basili. It is Friday morning, which means it's time for our great debate. Joining us now, the former Lieutenant Governor of New York and Newsmax contributor Betsy McCaughey, and Democrat strategist and former consultant to the Department of Homeland Security, Mustafa Tamiz. All right, folks, it's been a rough week. I think we can all agree. I want to have a productive conversation about some solutions here. Everybody says, how do we do this? How do we stop these school shootings? Today's question for you: should teachers who are trained and licensed to carry firearms be allowed to be armed in schools? Betsy, to you first.
Thank you. I think we should deal with what's possible. And the teachers' unions nationally and this week in Texas have come out strongly against this, and they have a lock on the school systems. But here's what we know. The K through 12 school shooting database, terrible that we have it, but we do, that database shows us that all of these school shootings have been committed by teenage males who were mentally ill and very angry. And the Wall Street Journal this week interviewed many of the shooter's classmates, and they found that these kids already knew that he was very dangerous. They saw the videos he posted. They saw the the weapons that he had on his social media postings, right, and the threats that he actually sent to some of them individually. Mm-hmm. And yet what they didn't know is what to do about it. They stayed away from him. They didn't know to go to a teacher or school authority, police, and say, this person is dangerous. We have in place a remedy. Social and emotional learning. It's federally funded. It's a curriculum in almost all classrooms. But they never teach kids this. They're teaching them about pronouns, about many other things. Here is something essential they should be teaching kids starting in first grade. If you feel there's something dangerous going on, tell your teacher.
Mustafa, to you. Betsy says the teachers' unions are never going to allow it to happen. We should just move on from it. And she's focused on social and emotional learning. Your thoughts?
You know, it's kind of like saying there are a lot of accidents on the road. Why don't we just put more cars on the road? It doesn't make any sense to arm teachers. Look, in Uvalde, there was a police officer. There were multiple police officers that had guns on the premise when the shooter entered. These semi-automatic weapons with high-capacity magazines are able to spray anywhere from 30 to 60 to 90 bullets in a minute. So even if a police officer, even if a teacher has a gun, if somebody's got a semi-automatic weapon, they're gonna spray that within a minute. So I just think the idea of saying the solution to problems with guns is just more guns, it defies logic. Our kids are dying.
I'd like
Betsy,
to jump in with Mustafa because he raises interesting points. But the database to which I just referred points out that even though in this tragic instance some automatic weapon was involved, although it was a long gun.
Not on a semi-automatic,
right. Not one of these AK-47s. But the fact is, most of these shootings are committed with handguns, not with these automatic weapons. And interestingly, worldwide, this is a terrible phenomenon going on, not just in the United States. In other countries, angry teen males are committing slaughters of this nature with bows and arrows, with grenades, with knives, with poison. So we have to look at the mental health problem and how to red flag it early, and training other students who see it the first, have them know what to do when they see a classmate is becoming very dangerous.
Look, I think, I happen to agree with you, Betsy, but Mustafa, had the teacher or the teacher across the hall had a concealed weapon in that school, when that kid walked into that classroom, they could have taken him out in 15 seconds. They could have done that. You don't think that that's a legitimate thing, considering that these folks who have concealed carry permits have to go through training, they have to be certified by the state. These are not, folks who are just, shooting randomly. These are folks who have, you give them actual training to be able to do this. You don't think that that's valid at all?
I mean, we're in this perpetual conversation. We have 400 million guns, and there's only 340 million Americans.
So what?
And we're saying, let me finish. So we're saying in a school, where, there's 2,000 kids, let's put 100 teachers and 100 guns there, as if nothing will go wrong by putting 100 guns where 2,000 kids in the same building. Look, the number one things that handguns cause is suicide. That's an epidemic in America, where young men and young women are committing suicide. Making guns more available inside school, even if teachers hide it, even if they put it on lock, kids are going to find their way to this. Look, I just don't understand what is the big deal.
I've got to jump, guys. I've got to jump. But always a good conversation with the two of you. Betsy McCoy.
And our sympathies to the parents and grandparents who lost those children.
Betsy and Mustafa Tamiz, thank you so much. And both of you, have a good Memorial Day weekend.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.